Hey, so I'm on my way to the, and if you've been to your Home Depot lately, you probably have noticed that you have to wait in the line. They let only so many people in at once. No big deal, just picking up some Varathane today. I don't think I can get the Helmsman spar varnish here, which is what I actually used the first time. The first wooden airplane I did. I don't think that's available here in California, so I'll pick something out that'll work. But first I gotta get in that line. So I'm back at the car. I can take my mask off when I get in my car. You can't go in public shopping places or food places or gas stations, for that matter, around here without having your mask. So anyway, I've got the urethane. It's always interesting when you look at the receipt out here. They actually charge you for the disposal of the paint when you buy it. Same for a mattress, in case you're interested. All right. I'm gonna head to the shop and yeah, let's do some work on this. All right, so this is where I left off. I don't remember if that was yesterday or not yesterday. Anyway, this is where I left off. I got this all set up now. Everything fits perfect. The things slide in with no problem. We've got a nice fit on both sides, so that's really good. And the tip rib is just a piece of cake. I mean, tip rib fit without any adjustments at all. Just slid right in. One thing I do have to do, let me slide this out of here. One thing we do have to do is, I don't know if you can see where I made a couple marks right there. You got to carry this member out to the edge of that mark so that it meets up with these two gussets right here. So, and we'll have to do the same thing on the tip around the root rib. Once I pull it off, you can see. We've got the same here. We've got a couple marks right there where that's got to come in. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, number one, I'm going to go find myself a light. I'm sure there's an extra laying around somewhere. And then we'll make these pieces that go on the ends here so that I can finish up attaching these that are on the bottom here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of those, plus the 2 ends, and then these 2 ends here, and then we'll be in a really good spot to get those epoxied in place, and maybe even get the tip and the root rib in place. I think if I staple these end ones on, I'll actually be able to keep moving. If I clamp them, I won't. So I may just staple those to the spar so that I can do that. But you'll see. We'll get going here. All right. So I've got all the rest of these completed here, all the way down. And for these, I just put a staple in them. Right there on the back side, just to hold those in place, in hopes that I'm going to be able to epoxy the root rib and the tip rib in place. I've actually, I thought by staying back of the line that I drew, I was going to be in really good shape here, but not the case. It needs just a little more trimming, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I put my straight edge here against the ribs, I don't know if you can see that. There's a gap right there, but then when you get down here, it's actually tight against this. So we need to maintain that 1/16 inch gap all the way down. So I've got to take just a little more material off of those two pieces that I put in right there, just so this can come in another 1/16 of an inch. Probably isn't going to take a full 1/16, but it's going to take at least a line width to get this knot to be tight in that location. So I'll go check the tip rib and see if I have to remove any material off of those to do the same thing. And yeah, you know, that's kind of how this goes. You custom fit something and you put it in there, and then you test fit, and then you remove a little material, and then you check again, and then you remove a little more material, and then you check again, and hopefully it fits, and you can actually start to epoxy something together. Whew. But that's building a wooden airplane. That's the way it goes. And actually not just wood, that goes for building any airplane. But anyway, I will check the tip one, see how that one's coming out, and then we'll get this squared away here. Alright, so we got those in place, and we'll check this, see how this looks. Looks really good. No complaints with that whatsoever. Just kind of get a staple bridge here, just to make sure that this part right here doesn't move on me. Get that where we want it. Alright, that'll hold that in place. And then we'll just check one more thing here on this end. and that's just to make sure this tip rib is square to the workbench, perfectly square. All right, that all gets a thumbs up. All right, so some of you that are on the East Tennessee Lonesome Buzzards site, you saw that I had my friend Bob Holman laser cut all of the rib gussets and stuff for me, and he also cut all of the aileron nose ribs and the wing nose ribs out of both the 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch. And since I had some extra room on the 1/4 inch, I went ahead and cut the rudder pedals, which I'll actually support on the back, probably with a couple of RS3 or 4 members, RS5, something like that. And the cool thing about laser cutting, you can actually make some marks where you need to drill holes, which is kind of sweet. I also have the elevator and stab. I did all those. These squares are all of my aileron gussets at the trailing edge. I've got all of the rudder and stab gussets and pieces as well. So yeah, so that's a lot of work actually that was taken care of in a very short order with a laser. So I'm going to kind of get all of the nose ribs and stuff cut out and prepared for some of the next steps, because what will happen now is we will flip. Once this is all dry here, we'll actually be flipping the wing around so that the trailing edge is against the fence over here, and then we'll lay in the trailing edge material, put the wing up against it, and start to add the trailing edge. And then while it's in that condition, with the trailing edge against the fence, then we'll be starting on the leading edge and getting ready to wrap the plywood around the leading edge. And I've got some kind of like the Andy Carmi jig. I'll be building that, which I did before as well. Super, makes everything really easy. So yeah, so anyway, I think that's probably good for today. I'm going to just pop these out of here, sand them a little bit, and just start preparing them for some of those next steps, since I can't do much else with the wing at the moment while all of this sets up. And yeah, thanks so much for following along. I do appreciate it, and I hope you're finding this interesting. And if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button so you can follow along. And as always, I'll catch you later.